What's up, everybody? I'm V. Welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited to chat with you all today about something called loops. What are they? How do they open? How do we recreate them? And then ultimately, what can we do about them, particularly at the end of the night, so we do not leave our energy open for potential attack or interference? So, when you listen to a song, and then that song keeps playing in your head after you listen to it, whether it was like a catchy phrase or a catchy part of the chorus or something captivates you about the song. And now you're listening to it while you're in all these different environments. You keep coming back to the same part of the song. That's a loop. Have you ever watched something on social media and like, ooh, that's an interesting take dynamic? What an interesting debate. Next thing you know, you're thinking about it when you're doing the dishes. Now you're thinking about it when you're having a shower. And now you are just flipping thinking about it. That's a loop. A loop is any way that we can keep tabs open in our energy. Imagine your computer that has the browser and it's got all the different tabs open. When we have too many tabs open and we don't take time to close, this is how we can experience burnout. But this is also how, with our energy so wide open, with all of these open tabs that haven't been closed, we can create the potential for attack. Because here's the thing about attack that I want to educate more people on. Attack doesn't necessarily just happen because of something that you're consciously consenting to. A lot of times, attack happens because of things that you are completely unconscious to. For example, a lot of times, the ways that attack happen is through manipulated consent. So, if you're listening to this, in some way, there's a part of you that is consenting to this message. Would you agree? Of course, you're maybe choosing to resonate, choosing not to resonate, and all of that is totally welcome, but there's still a part of you that is open to receive. That's consent. And even though you are consciously here, you may be unconsciously consenting should there be, God forbid, unfortunately, something nefarious happening in my energy. This happens all the time. And a lot of times, attack doesn't need your conscious consent. It's unconscious. And in the things that we do and the things that we receive throughout our day, these are the things I want to bring your awareness to that are creating loops that could potentially create attack. So let me ask you this. How many tabs do you have open in your mind right now? How many things are left open on your browser? How many things are repeating in your head? The song that never ends. That's a loop, and we want to make sure that we are working on breathing, bringing our energy back into center, and then releasing the loops. So here I'm going to offer you just a super simple practice that you can take, and you can use it at the end of your day if that feels good for you. I definitely recommend it before you go to bed. But this is also malleable. You can use it in the morning or after you had a hard conversation with your boss, when you feel like your day is just getting really heavy or something happened, you got triggered on social media and you want to be able to cleanse, come back to your energy and close out those loops. So, the first thing we are going to do, we're imagining now that we're laying in bed and we're getting ready to close out our loops at the end of the day. The first thing we want to do is we want to cleanse our energy. So imagine we're laying on our bed. The next step is we are going to imagine from the top of our head to the bottoms of our toes that we are washing our energy. Imagine you're having like an energetic shower, if you will, with the color white, almost like you're combing through your energy. You can either use your hands if that feels good, if that kind of connection allows you to connect deeper into belief, or you can just imagine like you are sitting under a waterfall and the white light is cleansing you from the top of your head all the way to the bottoms of your toes as you're setting an intention to cleanse your energy of any loops or fragments that you have picked up throughout the day. Just setting an intention and imagining that the energy is just washing off of you. You can do this a few times over until you feel this sense of completion. From here, you want to command over your energy. So first we cleanse, second we command. I think one of the most obvious things that my clients go through in my world is this realization of what? How was this so easy? I said, yes, it's always been so easy. And commanding is one of those moments where they go, this was so obvious. I can't even believe that I had it always within me. So command is exactly what you would think it is. I, Victoria Pipo, or insert your name, am absolutely unavailable for any loops to come with me through the end of today. I am setting an intention to cleanse my energy and completely disconnect me from any loops, tears, attachments, or fragments that I've picked up from my energy that is unresolved at this time. I set an intention to resolve any of the loops and completely disconnect it from my energy. So what I'm doing in the beginning of this command is I'm focusing on removing. So use words that suit you for this, but think about, I want to remove the loop. So command over the removal. Second part of this is now we want to call back your natural energy. So once we command to remove, now we want to call back, right? So now that I've removed these loops, I'm calling back my natural energy, inviting in restoration, inviting in peace and tranquil sleep, if that suits you. Now, of course, you would change how you would call your energy back and what you would want to call your energy back to should you be in different times of your day. But the goal here is that you are implementing a cleanse with a command. And then the final step, if you are going to bed, this is a personal preference for me. I like to close down my chakras. The reason being is this: they're going to naturally reopen. They're like flowers that bud open with the sun. They're naturally going to reopen. However, at the end of the day, being such a highly sensitive being, there's so much I can pick up on in a day. I just want to go to sleep. And I just don't want to be available for anything to be metabolized through my energy. And so, chakra by chakra through the main central system of my body, I will go ahead and I will close down from chakra to chakra to chakra. Just taking a deep breath, imagining my crown is closing, maybe setting an intention, even if that felt good, to close down my crown, closing down my third eye. As I'm setting an intention, I'm winding down, closing down my energetic centers, and maybe setting a follow-up intention. Like when I wake up in the morning, I'm open to receive, opening up my chakras again, ready for the day. So this 3-part sequence is what I highly recommend to close out loops throughout the rest of the day, or at any time that it suits you. First we cleanse, then we command, and should you choose, you close. From here I want to notice, and I want you to notice how you feel. Because in my experience, adding in this super simple practice takes 3 to 5 minutes, has completely changed how open I feel, how much more confident and connected I feel to my own energy, and how much less I'm picking up. And like I said, the best part of this is it's so obviously sovereign that there's no risk in trying this out. And so I encourage you to try this. And as you continue to move through your ascension, and you're doing your best to secure it because there's so much energy that's happening worldwide, closing down loops, keeping the tabs as minimal as possible in your energy is going to become a game changer. So if this message was of service to you today and you're going to try to disconnect loops at the end of the day or throughout your experience here on planet Earth, let me know how this message resonates. And as always, please like, share, subscribe, bring it to your friends and say, hey, let me tell you, that call we had, this is an example of having too many tabs open. And I'll see you guys again very soon.